As you were mentioning, those panels are cement panels. Take a look right there, all the way up what appears to be about the 7th floor of the Bobby Hotel. I want to show you just how dark it still is here. So we're going to turn off our camera lights and take a listen to Kingston Springs right now. All you can hear in this area is generators going off. You can see those 6 wooden crosses that are now up, one for each one of the victims. Of course, one of them is for Mike Hill, who I was just talking about. His family said that he loved cooking and spending time with that big family. He said that he also found joy by working at Covenant for more than a decade. We're following breaking news out of Memphis. Overnight, 11 people were shot. One of them has died. Yeah, that shooting happened a little over an hour ago, and our photographer, like you mentioned, Thomas Davis, is there. We're waiting for him to get our live shot up, and we will, of course, bring you that later on this morning. Now, there is more breaking news. A man is in the hospital after police say he was shot in the chest. New this morning, more than 50 animals are getting a second chance at life after they were rescued from a hoarding situation in Laverne. It's clear that one Republican lawmaker was not happy about the decision to not expel Representative Gloria Johnson. Take a listen. People will be waking up with lights on. However, what they'll be seeing is huge down trees like this one. This is across a driveway. So I'm bringing you over to that trailer right now. As we get closer to the trailer, you can see all of the trees that were ripped out of the ground from what was potentially a tornado. Take a look at this right now. There's at least 24 different cars that have been abandoned on this exit ramp. I just spoke to a Metro police officer. He went around to every single one of those cars to make sure that there was no one inside because of the fear of carbon monoxide poisoning.
I know you grew up north of here, so where's your hat, friend?
Mm-hmm. Where's my hat? I couldn't ruin my hair.
We knew that's what
Are
he
you
was gonna
kidding?
say. We knew that, Ryan.
And Melanie, it feels like there's not enough coffee in the world this morning. But at least you won't need it to keep you warm.
That's
because
right.
we finally have some warm temperatures.
Yeah,
I just need it to wake up
I
today.
know, it's early. Are you sneezing, coughing, runny nose?
I am feeling it right here,
Not
for
so
sure.
much here or here, but right here.
But I didn't want to do any Flonase because then that kind of makes you sound really nasally.
Oh, really? I just did that before I came on out here.
Well, that's
so.
why. That's
You
why
both sound
how you
great if
right.
it's any consolation.
Get him out of here. All right, Stefano, take it away. We're going to have a fight. Mommy and Daddy are
Listen
gonna
to
fight.
the Melanie, because we're both here, Rebecca's not. Maybe she won the Mega Millions.
Maybe
since
she
clearly we
did.
didn't. Hey, good evening to you, Marius. Gathering as a community can bring a sense of togetherness after a tragedy, and that's what people said that they needed tonight, to be with others, also mourning here in Nashville.
You know, the Bible says to mourn with those who mourn, and to weep with those who weep, and that really is why we wanted to come together tonight.
Congregating at the Belonging Co. Church, people turned to their faith Monday night to process their pain.
It's challenging, honestly. There's been a lot of tears today.
So many sobbing during the public prayer. Some parishioners are families who send their children to the Covenant School.
That's what's been hard today. This is knowing that my kids got up and went to school today, and to know that other parents woke up this morning thinking my kid's just going to school and they'll never see their kid again is pretty heartbreaking as a father.
All across Nashville, people spent the day trying to make sense of the tragedy, including the Cathedral of the Incarnation.
People came to Mass today full of hurt and pain and grief. And all throughout Mass, I saw tears of various parishioners that gathered. And they just need to come together and just be with another.
And Christian singer Lauren Daigle postponing her album preview concert to hold a community-wide vigil in its place.
Something has to change. This can't keep happening. And I don't know how close to home it has to hit.
In this moment, people say you forget about things that don't matter.
Rally around the people that are hurting.
When it comes to traveling by air, 4th of July weekend hasn't been as bad as other summer holidays. Several flights were canceled and delayed, so that's not ideal. But we do know that it beats the thousands canceled during Memorial Day and Juneteenth. New York's JFK International Airport, Hartsfield Jackson Atlanta International, and Chicago O'Hare had the highest rates of delays and cancellations. As cases of the monkeypox virus steadily rise in the U.S., health officials are pushing for more access to testing and vaccines. Now the Biden administration will offer more of those materials. Jen Sullivan has more in today's Health Minute. A developing story right now out of Denmark, where 3 people died after a shooting at one of the country's largest shopping malls. 4 others were injured when the gunman opened fire. The 22-year-old gunman was arrested and will be arraigned today. Right now, police are working to figure out his motive. This is the worst gun attack in Denmark in 7 years. A major development out of Uvalde, Texas. The school district's police chief is stepping down from his city council position following the elementary school shooting that killed 19 students and 2 teachers. NBC's Guadalupe Venegas has the latest. Hey, good morning to you, Rebecca, and thanks for that live report out there. As she was mentioning, that was at exit 221. This traffic is going all the way back to 225. So this is a live look of another angle of I-40 right there. This is actually at New Hope Road. Let's toss it over to that other side where Rebecca was just on the ground there with that tractor trailer pushed off to the 221 exit ramp. You can see that Metro Police are out there right now, and as she was saying, they are working to get those lanes open. This accident actually happened around 4:29, so an hour ago. That means there's been an hour worth of cars building up on the interstate there on all 4 of those lanes. So let's help you get around that if you are heading out the door right now. As we head there, you can see that it's about a 5-mile stretch of interstate that is backed up right now. Once again, exit 221 all the way to exit 225. If you're heading out the door, your best bet is going to be to take Lebanon Pike this morning. That's going to be the way to get around this morning. But you can also try for some other side streets and other roads. So Central Pike that goes along this interstate of I-40 is a good option. Also, so is Old Lebanon Dirt Road. We will obviously continue to monitor this and have live reports from Rebecca. And if we find out any more workarounds, we will bring those to you. The mobile home came off of its foundation and landed on her. First responders worked for about 20 minutes to get her out. She is in critical condition right now, but that is the only injury in this area. Other than that, we do know that 4 people were killed across Tennessee from these storms. The woman's brother has been trying to get a hold of her for years, calling and even coming here to the River Chase apartments. Finally, it took one of her children who lives with her to admit that their mother is dead.
In my heart, I knew she was gone, but I kept saying to myself, no, that's not true. No, that's not true.
It's the outcome Anthony Jolly feared about his sister LaRonda. However, even he couldn't imagine what law enforcement would find.
The bed she was on, she had clothes piled on top of her body. Her body had already decayed. It was nothing left but a skeleton.
Jolly says his niece told a deputy about the body inside. Though the timeline for how long she had been there isn't certain, anywhere from 1 to 3 years, he says his 2 nieces and 2 nephews, all with developmental disabilities, lived at River Chase with her.
For them to stay in that apartment with your own mother's decaying body, I can't understand it, and I guess I never will understand it.
Jolly says the children would never let him see her when he'd stop by.
And I would say, well, all I want to do is see my sister. If I can just see her face, I'll be fine, and I'll leave you alone.
But he's still trying to process why this happened and how LaRonda died.
They said they was obeying their mother's wishes to let me lay there. Don't call anybody, just let me lay here. Everything else they've told me is a lie, so, you know, I'm not sure if I believe that either.